Welcome to the In-Between-Man podcast, where men can be men. That's true. It's a fact. It can absolutely happen here. Today we're going to be talking about something I'm super excited about, and we'll get into that in a second. But if you're new to the podcast, welcome. We're glad that you're here. You don't need to do anything. You just need to listen. And even if you don't want to listen, you can leave whenever you want. You're free to do whatever you want. So I want to just implore you to make the best and right decision for you. Not for anyone else. Not for me. No one. Just do you. Be you. If you want to get out of this episode right now, just get out of it right now. That's all I'm saying. My dog is whining like a kindergartner, and it's making me absolutely bananas. But I'll be okay. I will. I'll be all right. So for those of you who are new, I have created an introductory playlist. That's someone who is looking to understand more about what our primary purpose is, who am I as a guest, where will this information be available, how is it going to be used. You can check it out. I have the link in the description below. Okay. And you may find out that what we're trying to accomplish here has nothing to do with any of your interests, and that's fine. And so I'm not wasting your time. It's for you to get to know me, not for me to get to know you, and for you to make an educated decision on where you want to spend most of your time. Okay. Now, as a follow-up to that, I have opened up an Etsy store, and you can find the link in the description below. But I've created basically like these brutally honest greeting cards that you can bring with you or have in your glove compartment in case you're going on a first date. You know, and if you happen to go on a first date where your date has a platoon full of kids and feels that you're obligated to pay for filet mignon dinners for all of her kids, this is here to help you out, okay? Because what you have is you have this setting. It's a romantic setting, you know what I mean? It's got these little things on the sides that didn't work out as well as I hoped it would. But when you open it up, it has a message. And this message says, well, I was thinking about you today, and I wanted to let you know 50 Shades of Grey never happened, and Prince Charming is homeless. And then you can initial and sign the bottom. These are my Peter North Emotionally Vulnerable Greeting Card Collection. And on the back is a spiritual message that she may or may not read, but that says, God trusts all of mankind to practice love and tolerance for others. You have mastered the art of emotional manipulation and find something wrong in everything I do. Have fun changing your flat tire. Love, Peter. You can pick up all 4 of these at the Etsy store. Free shipping. Get after it. All right, let's dive into today's episode. So, just to give you some feedback on what we're going to be covering here, probably for over the course of the next 2 months, I'll have an episode for each topic that we're going to be going over. But there's an organization called Equimundo, and they create and put together a State of American Men survey. And the last time I looked at it, what I can tell you it did was it gave me the purpose to put this podcast together, and has been sort of this driving force on helping men understand why they may be struggling today. And listen to the who of my introduction section, and you'll get a better idea of what I'm all about. But that survey, the 2023 State of American Men survey, was absolutely phenomenal. And I'm thinking about actually uploading my overviews of those so that you compare them to this year's, which is the State of American Men 2023. Unlike 25. Unlike 2023, there was only 7 headlines that they researched and talked about. And this is really in-depth research. And they did some things in this 2025 one where they've actually included women into this survey as well to provide a different perspective. But what I want to go over today in a very quick and concise manner is basically the 8 topics that we're going to be discussing on a go-forward basis. Okay? And so the 8 topics that are going to be presented by the State of American Men 2025 research study are broken down like this. Number one, economic anxiety is at the forefront of men's worries. And here's a sub bullet point. Anxiety around not being able to financially secure themselves and their family's future is linked to a lack of purpose, higher suicide ideations, and feelings of being an inadequate caregiver. You identify with that? I do. Number two, men's views about masculinity are becoming more restrictive. Let me explain. With men and women believing that being a provider is the key trait of manhood today, it's unsurprising that rigid masculinity is linked to poor mental health, but also paradoxically, a better sense of purpose of life or in life. Can you relate to that? I sure can. Topic number three, men are isolated. I'm raising my hand. Feel no one cares about them and are pessimistic about their romantic prospects. Men and women lack social connection and feel unworthy of love. For men, this is especially acute. You raise your hands for that one? These are topics that we're going to be going over in depth and in detail on a weekly basis. Topic number 4. Pressure to be a provider and economic anxiety are exacerbated by where they spend time online. Online narratives often perpetuate zero-sum ideas about men and women, but it's important to acknowledge the positive reasons why men are online as well. Okay, we'll leave it at that. Brennick's not going to provide any additional commentary. We're going to go into stage 5. Frustrated by economic anxieties, men and women support leaders who would tear it all down. The more men feel economic uncertainty and hear harmful online narratives, the more they support beliefs against election and democracy, which many women do as well. Hey, now. All right. Number 6. Many men fear being called out or canceled. Men face tremendous anxiety that they will be called out, which is likely fueling their backlash against diversity and equity. Okay. Number 7, here's a good one. Armed and ready is the current state of being for many men, meaning they own firearms and franchises and support views of militants. There is a large segment of the population that is ready for violence and extremist thinking, and this leads to lower trust in public institutions. Wow. And last but not least, men and women want care policies. As fathers and caregivers of others, many men find a sense of purpose in those roles and alongside women are willing to vote for care policies to improve the lives of their loved ones. So there you go. This is a 65-page, is it 65? Let me check. 65-page study that I believe just recently was published in the last, call it 60 days. I can't say for certain. And when I went through it the first time, I absolutely loved the process of going through it. It allowed me to get perspective on where I was at any given moment. It helped frame where I was, what I was feeling, how I was feeling, made me feel more of a part of a community of men who are probably struggling just as much as I am, if not more, or even less, right? It helped me understand why I was struggling. And some days it makes me feel better and some days it doesn't, right? This is about answering the question of why men are struggling today. Now we have 8 topics that we can go over with a lot of explicit detail that will give us perspective that we may not have considered before, that will hopefully compel you to say, I'm willing to look inwardly to find additional peace and serenity if you're unable and unwilling to look at any emotional trauma in any capacity throughout your entire life. Okay? So that's what we're going to do here. That's how we're going to break it all down. We're going to keep it simple today. We're going to jump right into it probably tomorrow. And do me a favor, check out the introductory playlist on the YouTube channel. Get yourself acclimated with our purpose, our mission, a little bit about who we are, how we're going to be doing it, building our Discord community. And then check out the Etsy store, the In-Between-Man Etsy store, and these emotionally honest and brutally painful greeting cards that you can give to someone on a first date who tries to flip you for a bill of $600 to feed their platoon of kids. We got to have a little fun while we're doing this. You know what I mean? Like, we can't be serious all the time. This is about being men, real men like DJ Shipley, real men like Marcus Capone, who know how to be men and what that means and how they can help themselves not only communicate what they feel and what they need, but to also be able to have a framework of knowing how to process tough emotions that they may not have considered before in the past. And that was a mouthful. It totally was. My dog isn't barking. So check out the Etsy store. That would be great. Do me a favor. Do yourself a favor. Stay out of trouble. I'll see you in there. And then I'll see you on the next one.